Hello, it's Phillip Taylor from Richmond Green Chambers speaking, and this morning I'm looking at an interesting book, very thought-provoking. It's Insider Trading. It's from Edward Elgar Publishing and it's written by Stephen M. Bainbridge. This is the book here. It's a heavy book. There are some comments on the back. Mr. Bainbridge is an American professor of law at the University of California in Los Angeles. The book weighs in at about 700 pages. As I said, it's a heavy book, and it links in a whole series of various reviews from various law reports and law reviews. You can see there's one from Albany Law Review, then there's Virginia Law Review, and then various other areas. There's one from the whole range of other areas. The interesting thing about the book itself is the questions it actually poses. There's a lot of bibliographical detail right at the back of the book, and as is very much the case with Edward Elgar publications, it's a link into a lot of previously published materials, mainly of an academic nature. You can see there the acknowledgements. The book itself asks some questions, and in the detail review which we've produced, I'm going to just raise a couple of the points. We give it the title, Where Greed is Not Good, Anti-Insider Trading Regulations in the US. The theory, the history, the debate. And that's really what this is about. We're looking at it from an historic perspective. If you're a fan, of course, of Michael Douglas's performance as the ruthless Gordon Gekko, that greed is good, in the film Wall Street, you may well be intrigued by the learned articles in this book on insider trading. Compiled in one handy hardback volume, this publication brings together some of the best learned commentaries from the United States on this often vexed and controversial subject. And I can tell you now from some of the comments I've had from overseas students how many of them just do not see insider trading as possibly being criminal or in any way wrong. Certainly in the Far East that's a view which is quite prevalent. So it's interesting to see that in this admirable series, this corporate law series which Edward Elgar have produced, they've collected some articles which offer both a theoretical and a historic perspective on insider trading. So if you're doing research in this area, Bainbridge's book is well worth getting, because he's cherry-picked a collection of some of the most interesting articles over a period of some 40 years, and it's a useful point for the debate itself, I would suggest. Even though it's an American book as such, the articles have equal relevance here in the UK, and indeed in any other country which has a developed capital market. The interesting point is that rigorous regulation of insider trading, however, has apparently generated a spirited debate, primarily in America, of all places, not on the morality or immorality of insider trading, but on its practicability and its effectiveness. And I think that's an important point. Some commentators, notably Henry G. Maine back in the 1960s, have argued against a prohibition on insider trading, thus generating tsunamis of indignation on the part of other commentators and academics who vociferously disagree. Obviously that's an issue which is still around, as I've indicated. Let me conclude, do read the review we've written, but let me conclude by saying that perhaps the next compilation published on this subject will advance the insider trading debate much further, with some more recent legislative developments and research, particularly in the regulatory compliance area, which is so beloved of people within the European Union. Obviously the framework has changed, and we're in a very much of a heavy regulated, compliance driven area at the moment, and that is the way forward as I see it for the time being. Whether it's right or wrong is an intellectual argument. I think this book offers a great debate on the subject from a historic perspective, as I've indicated. So thank you to Mr. Bainbridge, or Professor Bainbridge rather, and to Edward Elgar for an excellent contribution to the debate. Thank you. Bye-bye.